Hello, everyone. My name's Peter Ott, and I'm the author of a book called Floyd In Pieces. And I'm here today to read you Chapter 2, Moving Day. The old clock in the hallway called out a single chime. Those were the hardest to deal with since you didn't know if it was signaling 1 o'clock or simply marking the half hour. That wasn't really the issue today, though. I'd been awake since the 4 chimes and was well aware that it was 6:30. On top of all that, the digital thing next to Marjorie's side of the bed was still set to wake her at 6. I'd been lying there expecting that buzzer, but had still jumped when it went off. I let it run for a long time before slapping it down. I was never sure why she had even set that alarm. She never needed it, always seemed to be awake and plotting the day before its buzzing. I suppose I needed to do something with that clock too now. Add that to the list. I sit on the edge of the bed, rub my face and look around. The room is far from empty, which is going to be the job for the day. Most of the stuff's already boxed up, waiting for some higher power to move them to a new place. Luckily for me, all this process has been previously set up, although turning out to be quite a different experience than what we'd planned. You see, Marjorie had a clear vision of us and where we were headed. She was 71, I'm a worsening 74, and she was under no illusions about our ability to live out in the countryside by ourselves. Cutting grass, getting garbage to the road, making sure we had wood for the winter and cleaning eaves, all that. She saw what was coming. I was still fine doing each of these. Sure, they took me a couple more hours than they did in the past, but I was fine with the ladders and had electric start on everything that was gas-powered. The golf cart still worked well for getting around to the far reaches of the property. Cutting grass is still child's play. I just don't cut the ditch anymore, which now, after months, really looks like shit. But like most men, I'm blind. Not literally yet, but I've been known to avoid seeking out help. Being male and Dutch means that I have to be self-sufficient, resilient, pig-headed, and frugal. It's built into us and it's not something we can fight. My wife knew this and had no problem pushing it aside, helping me to swallow the conversation by dangling things in front of me the way women do. She'd lean in and whisper promises of making my favorite meal, or if it was a big ask, I may get an offer of a back rub in the bedroom. The big asks didn't come very often, and I rarely said no. I catch myself smiling at the edge of the bed, still staring at the piles of boxes. Marge was, of course, right about needing to find us a new place. We had to get into the city where one could find a place with a single level, outdoor maintenance, maybe a gym, some stores within walking distance, and some community, some life. Her need for life was well established, and with the need to reduce driving, it made sense to make all that local. I'd reluctantly given in. It had made too much sense to resist. It had also been a back rub night. The blaring of a truck horn signals that I've been lost in thought for yet another chime of the clock. The movers are here. John had asked that I change the moving date, but I hadn't gotten to it. Marjorie had set all this up months ago, and to be honest, I didn't have the energy to go through it all again. The apartment was paid for, and these guys were hard to book. I was just going to let it happen. The clothes I wore to yesterday's service are on the floor next to me. I shuffle and kick through them as I make my way to the bathroom to get ready. I want to grind them and that whole ugly day into the ground. Mr. Henderson! Floyd! The movers are pounding on the door. I move too slowly, I suppose. It's open! I attempt to yell. It comes out as a morning raspy pre-mouthwash phlegm throat gurgle. I spit and repeat. It's better the second time. Now dressed and in my own view presentable, I find them inspecting the stuff that made up our lives. This won't take long, the bearded clipboard guy barks, motioning to the gaggle of men behind him, a signal to get to work. You need anything from me? I ask. It's a serious question. I had nothing to do with organizing any of this. I assume I'll have to deal with the bill, though. I've always made it clear who pays the bill. Again, the Dutch passed, and I'm handcuffed. Beard looks through his clipboard pages. Yeah, it's all here. Just need you to sign at the new place. He puts the clipboard on the table and joins the others, already hauling the heavy furniture out. I look around, and there's still some stuff to clean up and box in the kitchen from yesterday. John, Flynn, and a couple of the others had stayed late last night and done most of it. I look in the fridge and decide on some leftover pie for breakfast. Some things are going to slip. I eat my pie while watching others do the work. I suppose this is what I need to get used to. John shows up in the early afternoon and throws the remaining garage stuff into his trailer. It had largely been sold off over the previous weeks while I was at the hospital. Marjorie's cancer had decimated her much faster than expected. The hours and then the minutes with her had been important, and John had known that. A couple of quick conversations, mostly involving curt phrases like "I don't care" and "just do it," had made most of the outdoor stuff just disappear. At that time, it felt as if the present was all that had mattered. Funny now thinking about it, my present is just a bag of shit. I want my stuff back. Before the afternoon is half over, the house is empty except for me, Marjorie's silly bird Sonny, and a few sundries that I've left to pack. I hear the truck's air brakes blow off as it starts down the driveway. 2 entire lives in a single truck, shoving off. The bird, whom I've ignored since yesterday, decides the space is too quiet and lets out a whistle that echoes through the entire house. "Oh, Sonny." I grab part of a cracker from one of my remaining bags and walk over to the cockatiel. "You must be starving." He accepts the simple meal for me and clicks a quick thank you before breaking it up in his beak. I finish the bit of packing that's left, put the bags in the car, and come back for a final sweep. Now that everything's out, the house resembles only a carcass. It's been picked clean by the movers and left now to the new owners and the ravages of time. I should feel sad about this. I know that John never grew up here. There are no doorposts with heights marked on them, no crayons scribbled wallpaper. But there are marks on the floor from where we decided to rearrange the bedroom. Holes and faded paint on the walls from pictures that meant something. Our wedding, John's graduation are 2 that I can recall. I just noticed too that the pleasant smell of yesterday's buffet still lingers faintly in the air. But there's no Marjorie. I inhale deeply in an attempt to lock in the moment. One last mental snapshot. I move outside, placing the birdcage gently on the step. I close the door for the last time and lock it. I ponder pocketing the key but decided against it. I won't be back. Instead, I remember the rock in the garden where the other key has long been stashed. I lift it to make sure it's still there and put my own beside it. But for some reason, the rock won't leave my hand. It's just a rock, but I need it. I move some leaves over the naked keys, pick up both the cage and the rock and place them gently in the car's back seat. "What's up?" The bird suddenly shrieks out in a sharp nasal crackle. The bird is worried. "You tell me," I reply. "I just stole a rock." I get in, start the car, and slowly proceed down the long driveway, stretching out the moment. The mailbox flag is down, but I get out and check for mail anyway. This is from habit, I suppose, but also because I'm hoping for some guidance, direction, one last note from somewhere. It's empty, of course. The mailbox door whines and complains as I shut it. Marjorie has been right with all this. I should have oiled those hinges months ago. I get back in and turn the car onto the lonely dirt road, feeling the same as the bird in the back. Trapped, worried, and uncertain about what's ahead.